Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati. Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, we're continuing questions and answers. Someone says, if I make own endeavors, then what is need of guru? What is function guru? Well, if you're going to make your own endeavors, that's very independent. It's usually the process is you approach the spiritual teacher and you take instruction from him about how you should be endeavoring and what you should be endeavoring for. Not that you just decide on your own, independently, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to endeavor for. That's not the process. You take shelter of a spiritual master to guide you on the path to surrender to Krishna. Of course, if you're independent thinking, and then you don't need a guru. The whole idea is to become dependent, to take guidance from the spiritual teacher. Right? We say Om Ajnana Timirandasya. The spiritual master opens our eyes because we're in ignorance. We need to be guided. If you just simply act independently, then what's the good of having a guru? The whole process is to take instruction. Tadvidi pranipatena. First you put questions to the spiritual teacher. And then pariprashnena. Tadvidi pranipatena. First is to surrender, to submit yourself at the feet of the spiritual teacher. And then pariprashnena, to put questions. In other words, find out what you should be doing and how you should endeavor. And then sevaya, render service. Right, Kavichandra Maharaj?
Yeah.
Did you see this question? Can you see it?
Well, that's what he said. If I make an endeavor, what is the need of a guru? What are you endeavoring for? That's the question. For almost anything, you need a guru, means teacher. So you're generally following somebody, most people that endeavor for something. Guru is a teacher, and someone who, so generally we need that. We want to advance, we need to know somebody knows more than us and can guide us. The spiritual, the real guru, then is, he's also a student, he's have a higher authority also. So I think Maharaj explained quite nicely.
Healthy life in ashram, and how to advance in bhakti, how to free from.
If I make an endeavor for what, just an endeavor to what? To
Some devotees were saying yesterday, I'm not sure. Whatever you say.
How many of you want translation? How many don't? How many need translation? Put your hands up.
translator.
Don't be shy.
Maybe they don't know what you said.
If you want translation, okay.
What language?
Hindi.
Everybody who understands English language, raise your hand. That looks pretty good.
Okay. Some people don't understand English. Yeah, there's one person.
Yeah, they don't know what you said.
Okay.
Then what language are they looking? What language?
Hindi.
Hindi. No janta Hindi. I don't speak Hindi. Hindi nahi janta. You have another one?
Yeah.
A good one?
How to keep healthy life in ashram.
भक्त का प्रश्न है कि आश्रम में जीवन जीते हुए आश्रम जीवन में कैसे हम स्वस्थ रह सकते हैं?
Well, life in the ashram is healthy if you follow the ashram life. It's a regulated lifestyle.
तो आश्रम का जो जीवन है बहुत सुचारू ढंग से जिया जाता है और अगर आप उस तरह से जिएंगे तो आप निश्चित रूप से स्वस्थ रहेंगे.
Right? We practice early to bed, early to rise.
तो आश्रम के जीवन में हम जल्दी सोना और जल्दी उठने का प्रयास करते हैं.
It's a very healthy lifestyle. It's a very regulated lifestyle.
ये बहुत ही एक नियंत्रित और एक बहुत ही हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल है.
So just being in the ashram, if you follow everything that you're meant to do in the ashram, you would certainly should be in a healthy state.
अगर सब चीजों को हम पालन करते हैं तो निश्चित रूप से आप अच्छे स्वस्थ रखेंगे.
Of course, you should not overeat. Don't eat too much. Don't eat at night.
तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा नहीं खाना चाहिए और रात्रि के समय नहीं खाना चाहिए.
Right? Brahmachari life. We have a saying in Chinese. They have a similar saying to what's in Ayurvedic. In Ayurvedic medicine, they teach similar things as in Chinese traditional medicine. Their system is, in the morning, eat a good breakfast, and then eat full at lunchtime, and eat very less in the night.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि चाइना देश में भी आयुर्वेद की तरह ही उससे मिलता जुलता है बिल्कुल. उसके अनुसार सुबह जो है अच्छा भोजन करना चाहिए, दोपहर के समय पूरा भरपेट भोजन करना चाहिए और रात्रि के समय बहुत कम.
So you want to be careful. As the sun rises, the power of digestion increases. So we have the maximum appetite in the middle of the day.
तो हमें इस चीज का बहुत ध्यान रखना चाहिए. जैसे जैसे सूर्य उदय होता है वैसे ही हमारा पाचन शक्ति बढ़ता जाता है. तो इसलिए दोपहर के समय हमारा पाचन शक्ति सबसे अधिक होता है.
Then as the sun sets, then your digestion is going down. So you want to eat less, and best is you don't eat.
और इसी तरह से जब सूर्यास्त होता है तो हमारा पाचन शक्ति बहुत घट जाता है, इसलिए रात के समय कम खाना चाहिए या फिर और अच्छा होगा ना खाना।
What else is
Go to the next part.
Yeah.
How to advance in bhakti.
भक्ति में हम आगे कैसे बढ़ सकते हैं?
Follow the path.
आप भक्ति के नियमों का पालन करें
Keep moving on the path.
और उस रास्ते पर चलते रहें।
It's very simple.
The third question?
Yeah, it's very simple. How to advance is to, first you have to want to advance, so you have to follow with that purpose. We want to do better and better every day. We want to, not necessarily more rounds or more reading, but more attentive, more focused on, why are we doing it? Keep the goal in mind. If you're trying to achieve some goal, you have to know what that goal is. So that's why we have to have a guru, we have to hear from the guru, hear from the acharya. What is the goal of love of Krishna? Then we have to know who is Krishna, and then hear about people who already love Krishna, and follow the path, which for us is basic for everyone, 16 rounds at least. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And following regulated principles. So Rupa Goswami gives us Achahara Nima, Achahara Prayasascha. What is it?
Achahara Prayasascha Prajapo Niyamagraha Jnana Vijnana.
So these things are no good. To collect too much or eat too much, talk prajalpa, make over endeavor for mundane things, to follow the rules and regulations without knowing why, just for the sake of doing it, or to not follow them, and to associate with non-devotees. These things are detrimental.
महाराज ने इसका उत्तर दिया कि बहुत आसान है इसको जानना, तो हम भक्ति के मार्ग पर चलते रहें और जो जो उसके लिए उचित है उस पर हम लगातार आगे बढ़ते रहें, और क्या हमारा लक्ष्य है भक्ति में उसको हमें ध्यान रखने की जरूरत है। ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें बहुत कुछ ज्यादा करने की जरूरत है, लेकिन जो भी कर रहे हैं उसको ज्यादा फोकस से और ज्यादा अटेंशन से करने की जरूरत है, जैसे कि ज्यादा अच्छे से चैंटिंग करना।
Then what's the other side? Utsahan. Utsahan.
Utsahan Nischaya Daryat
Nischaya. Daryat.
Tat Karma
Pravartana.
Sangat
Tovp.
Sadbir Bhakti.
What helps in devotional service is enthusiasm. We heard about that in one of the classes today. It has to be enthusiasm, otherwise you won't do anything. But then there has to be determination, because there's always, not so easy. Not everything goes smoothly in this world. You're trying to get out of this world especially. And then patience. And somebody was saying we can't be too patient. You were saying that, right? Okay, well, I'll chant, when I feel like it. I don't worry. Patience means keeping a cool head while you keep going. It's not that you don't do anything, you don't even try. So, and then giving up the association of non-devotees. The patience out of the utsahan and the endeavor, the enthusiasm. Without patience, then we'll quit. You have to, be patient and have faith in Krishna. The result is going to come. So Rupa Goswami is telling us there in the Upadeshamrita, 6 things that will help and 6 things that won't help. So practice the things that will help. Automatically you give up the things that don't help.
महाराज ने स्टॉप कर दिया कि जो श्री रूप गोस्वामी ने देशामित्र में हमें निर्देश दिए कि क्या चीज़ें, कौन सा चीज़ें भक्ति के अनुकूल है और कौन सा चीज़ें भक्ति के प्रतिकूल है, उसके हिसाब से हमें उसका पालन करना चाहिए। महाराज ने बताया अत्याहारा प्रयासश्च, ये सब चीज़ों से हमें बचना चाहिए और उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य हमें पालन करना चाहिए। इससे हम भक्ति में आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे निरंतर।
There was a third part of that one, right?
The third part of the question, how to free material contamination. And the answer is Hare Naam Sankirtan. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Right? Clean the heart by taking part in Sankirtan.
Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Hare Nama. Everybody say it.
Sab log bolo.
No. Right. And Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Steva, now steva, now steva. Gotcha Anyata.
Okay, very
You
good.
lost make power also? Yeah.
Okay, this. Read it out.
As told in the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, about who surrenders to Krishna gets delivered from all sinful reactions. I am confused. What is the reason for a great Vaishnava facing so many problems? Illness, as did Srila Prabhupada, Jaipataka Swami, as they are all completely surrendered to the Lord. Hare Krishna. Well, I think to teach us how to face these things, it's not karma necessarily for very advanced devotees, but they show us how to deal with these adversities which are part of life. We're in these material bodies. Prabhupada, as his body was deteriorating and the devotees were, really upset. He said, "Don't you understand what I've been teaching you? This is going to happen to you also. So get ready." So that's why we're relieved of the sinful reactions. But some things are still coming, but it's not always sinful reactions for every devotee. Like for the Pandavas, they had so much trouble, but it wasn't sinful reactions. It was just to demonstrate how to live perfectly in this world. So they had the most extreme, troubles, and showed perfectly how to deal with it.
Yeah, they're showing us the example, how to deal with these things when they come. Srila Prabhupada held up his arm, it was just skin and bones. He said, this is the result of accepting unqualified disciples. That was one way Prabhupada explained it.
One time he said like that, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि भगवान कहते हैं कि भगवत गीता में कि जो पूर्ण शरणागति करता है वो हर प्रकार के पापों से मुक्त हो जाता है, लेकिन हम देखते हैं कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी, श्रील जयप्रकाश स्वामी महाराज जैसे कई महान आचार्य को देखते हैं जो कि बहुत सफर कर रहे हैं शारीरिक रूप से, ऐसा लगता है। तो उसको कैसे समझे? तो महाराज ने बताया कि जरूरी नहीं है कि कर्म की वजह से हो, जो भक्त पूरी तरह से शरणागत हो जाते हैं तो दूसरों के लिए उदाहरण स्थापित करते हैं कि कैसे ऐसी स्थितियों में हमें किस तरह से व्यवहार करना चाहिए। और इसमें महाराज ने पांडवों का उदाहरण दिया कि पांडव जो है उनको एक्सट्रीम कष्ट सहना पड़ा, लेकिन वो दूसरों के लिए एक उदाहरण स्थापित कर रहे थे। और इसी तरह से श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने भी भक्तों को दिखाया कि जब वो वृद्ध हो रहे थे उन्होंने दिखाया कि मैं भी कैसे आप सबको भी इसके लिए तैयार हूँ।
But birth, death, disease, and old age of the body are always going to be there. But these great souls are showing us how to deal with it and not get entangled in it, and just continue on with life and bhakti with preaching.
मृत्यु जरूर आएगी, जरूर आएगा ही, और हमें इससे सीखना है कि कैसे हम अपने भक्तिमय जीवन में आगे बढ़ते रहें और इससे हम ज़्यादा इसमें व्यस्त ना हो.
Yeah, the sign of the pure devotee is that they can go on despite all of these difficulties.
लक्षण है कि इतने ज़्यादा कष्ट भरी स्थिति होने के बाद भी वो भक्तिमय जीवन में आगे बढ़ते जाते हैं.
All right, we'll go on to another question. Someone says, after coming in Krishna consciousness, faith is decreasing day by day. So, how to maintain enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness to serve Guru and Gauranga?
तो यहाँ पर भक्त का प्रश्न है कि कृष्ण भक्ति में आने के बाद मेरा जो विश्वास है वो दिन प्रतिदिन कम होता जा रहा है, तो मैं कैसे उत्साह बना के रखूं गुरु और कृष्ण की सेवा के लिए?
I think you didn't come to Krishna consciousness.
इसका मतलब आप कृष्ण भक्ति में आए नहीं.
Maybe you thought you were coming something else.
लगता है कि किसी और चीज में आ पाए.
But if you follow the program, you follow the process, your faith should increase day by day.
लेकिन यदि हम निर्धारित जो हमें रास्ता दिया गया उसका पालन करेंगे, प्रोसेस का पालन करेंगे, तो दिन प्रतिदिन हमारा विश्वास बढ़ना चाहिए.
How to maintain enthusiasm? Just by being enthusiastic.
और हम उत्साह कैसे बना सकते हैं?
First you have to be, you can't maintain it if you don't have it. Right? You can't maintain what you don't have.
हमारा कह रहे कि उत्साह नहीं है तो उसको कैसे बना के रखें?
So association, if you associate with enthusiastic people, you can become enthusiastic.
तुम्हारे बता रहे कि अगर आप उत्साहित भक्तों का संग करते हैं तो फिर आप भी उत्साहित हो सकते हैं.
I see a lot of enthusiasm out here on Parikrama,
मैं देखता हूँ कि यहाँ पर परिक्रमा में बहुत उत्साह है भक्तों में.
especially in the Kirtans, there's a lot of enthusiasm.
कीर्तन में बहुत उत्साह है भक्तों में.
Just being out here, you have to have some enthusiasm.
आप यहाँ पर आए हैं, इसको यहाँ पर बाहर आने के लिए कुछ उत्साह चाहिए.
And then he said, how to control our mind and maintain mood during chanting, for chanting the pure name.
अपने मन को कैसे नियंत्रित करें और जप के समय नाम शुद्ध नाम जप करने के लिए कैसे अपने मन को तैयार करें?
Well, if you're chanting the pure name, your mind is controlled already, beyond control. If you're chanting pure naam, you don't have to worry about your mind anymore.
अगर आप शुद्ध नाम का जप कर रहे हैं तो आपको फिर अपने मन की चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
We're namabas, so how to control the mind is just do it.
और जब हम नामाभास की स्थिति में हैं तब ये प्रश्न है कि हम मन को कैसे नियंत्रित करें.
But this how to maintain, it's one of the most common questions. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Koi, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. The association of devotees, Sadhu Sangha, that means real association, serving devotees, hearing from devotees, or if somebody's lesser than teaching, real Sadhu Sangha, this is the most important thing. But so those two verses from Rupa Goswami, one is to associate with devotees, the other one is to give up association with non-devotees.
महाराज बता रहे हैं कि ये बहुत साधारण तरह ये प्रश्न पूछा जाता है और इसमें हमें भक्तों के संग पर बहुत ज्यादा प्रभाव है. कैसे और असली संग, भक्तों का असली संग लेना, जिसका मतलब है उनसे सुनना, उनको सेवा करना. और जो श्रील रूप गोस्वामी ने पहले दो श्लोक दिए इसमें बताया कि भक्तों का संग करना और अभक्तों के संग को त्यागना.
I have a good memory for old rock and roll songs, but one said, you say you've lost your faith, you know it's not like that. You had no faith to begin with. But faith is created by association devotees, according to Srila Prabhupada.
महाराज बता रहे भक्तों के संग से हमारा विश्वास बनता है और बढ़ता है। श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने ऐसा बोला।
In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 3 is a very interesting verse. Who knows it? Who knows that verse?
What verse?
Chapter 9, verse 3.
अध्याय 9 भगवद गीता का श्लोक 3 कौन जानता है? भगवद गीता 9.3.
It's about faith. Shradadana Purusha.
Ashradadana Purusha. Everybody that knows it? Dharmasyasya paranta prapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmane. And that verse just kind of pops up out of nowhere after the first two verses. And if you don't have faith in this process, then you're not going to stick with it. Because there's utsaha, nischaya, dhairya. You have to be determined no matter what happens. But we have to hear from people who have faith. We have to seek people that are enthusiastic, people that have faith, and associate with them, and then association is like a touchstone.
महाराज बता रहे कि जो विश्वास है वो होना बहुत जरूरी है। भगवद गीता 9.3 में वो श्लोक एकदम से बीच में आता है जिसमें श्रद्धा की बात होती है और वहाँ पे हम समझते हैं कि लंबे समय तक बने रहने के लिए विश्वास होना बहुत जरूरी है। इसलिए ऐसे भक्तों का संग करना है जो भक्ति में बहुत उत्साह से लगे और हमारा भी उससे विश्वास बढ़ेगा।
Okay, we'll go ahead. Here's another question. Srila Prabhupada says in an NOD, Nectar of Devotion lecture,
And sometimes the electricity goes out. Hey.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
You know what?
Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
And Srila Prabhupada said in Nectar of Devotion lecture in Vrindavan, without Brahman realization, one cannot do pure devotional service. So how does a neophyte devotee come to the stage of Brahman realization to do pure devotional service? Jai, all glories to your Sankirtan. Srila Prabhupada said in Nectar of Devotion lecture in Vrindavan, without Brahman realization, one cannot do pure devotional service. So how can a neophyte devotee come to the stage of Brahman realization and perform pure devotional service?
तो ये भक्त का प्रश्न है कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने भक्ति रसामृत सिंधु के लेक्चर में बताया है कि ब्रह्मांड रियलाइजेशन के बिना शुद्ध भक्ति करना संभव नहीं है। तो हम जो अभी बहुत शुरुआती स्थिति में है भक्ति के, तो हम लोग कैसे शुद्ध भक्ति को कर सकते हैं?
I think that Brahman realization means we know we're not the body.
रियलाइजेशन का मतलब है कि हम ये शरीर नहीं है।
So that's the first stage. How to chant the holy name regularly, follow the regulated principles. If we don't follow the regulated principles, then we're going to be very much on the bodily platform of life.
तो महाराज कहते हैं कि जो बार-बार हम पूछते हैं कि कैसे करें, तो इसका यही उत्तर है कि हरि नाम का जप करें और 4 नियम का पालन करें। जब हम इसका पालन नहीं करते, तो फिर हम बहुत ज़्यादा शारीरिक अवस्थिति में आ जाते हैं।
We begin our devotional service on the Brahman platform.
तो जो भक्ति की शुरुआत है वो ब्राह्मण प्लेटफॉर्म पर ही होती है।
It's not a big endeavor to simply come to the Brahman level.
तो इस स्थिति पर पहुंचने में कोई बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास नहीं करना पड़ता है।
You just have to understand that we're not the body, we're spirit souls.
बस इतना ही समझना है कि हम शरीर नहीं हैं, हम आत्मा हैं।
And we have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord.
और हमारा भगवान के साथ सनातन संबंध है।
So dance in the Kirtan, raise your hands, clap your hands.
तो कीर्तन में नृत्य कीजिए, अपने दोनों हाथों को उठाइए और जोर जोर से ताली बजाइए।
And we'll realize.
और आप रियलाइज हो गए।
Doesn't take any time at all, really, to come to the Brahman platform in Krishna consciousness.
तो ब्राह्मण स्थिति में आने के लिए इसमें कोई समय नहीं चाहिए वास्तविकता में।
Another question. Someone says, I am a Kanishta Adhikari or lower. Then how can I identify an Uttama Adhikari and serve him?
तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि मैं कनिष्ठ अधिकारी हूँ या फिर उससे भी नीचे हूँ, तो मैं उत्तम भक्तों को कैसे पहचान करूँ और कैसे उनकी सेवा करूँ?
A Kanishta Adhikari would never say, I am a Kanishta Adhikari.
एक कनिष्ठ अधिकारी कभी ये नहीं बोलता कि मैं कनिष्ठ अधिकारी हूँ।
Kanishta Adhikari says, I'm the only devotee. Everyone else is a fake.
कनिष्ठ अधिकारी का तो ये विचार होता है कि मैं ही बस एक भक्त हूँ, बाकी सब तो
That's the real Maha Kanishta.
वो कनिष्ठ प्लेटफॉर्म।
And then they think, but that we have to know, one has to be in a humble state of mind, and then we have to read the Bhagavatam, read Prabhupada's purports, where we get the information.
तो हमें विनम्रता का पालन करते होना चाहिए और श्रीमद् भागवतम, श्रील प्रभुपाद जी के परपोर्ट्स ये सब हम पढ़ेंगे तो हम इसको समझ पाएंगे, हम उत्तम अधिकारी को समझ पाएंगे।
So, Trinadapi Sanichena Turarapi Sahishna Amani Namanadena Kirtaniya Sadahari and Tesham Satchati Yuktanam
Bhajatam Pratipurvakam.
I think everybody knows that one. Please, if you don't know those verses from the 10th chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11, those are the seed verses of the Bhagavad Gita. Take some time to learn them.
तो भगवत गीता में ये जो श्लोक हैं कुछ समय निकाल कर इनको याद कीजिए।
If you do know them, use them in your preaching a lot so they sink in.
और अगर आप इनको जानते हैं तो अपने प्रचार में इन श्लोकों को इस्तेमाल कीजिए।
So to someone who's always endeavoring, I give knowledge, Krishna said, by which you can come to me.
और जो ऐसा भक्त ऐसा
I give how you can come to me. It's very personal. Krishna is very personal.
तो ये भक्त जो भक्त ऐसा प्रयास करता है भगवान उसको वो ज्ञान देते हैं जिसके द्वारा वो भगवान तक पहुंच सकते हैं और ये भगवान का बहुत एक पर्सनल व्यवहार है उस भक्त के प्रति।
Yeah, you can identify the qualifications of the Uttamadhikari are given in the scriptures.
और शास्त्रों में उत्तम अधिकारी के लक्षणों को दिया गया है, आप उनको वहां से भी समझ सकते हैं।
So, of course, nobody's going to claim that they're Uttamadhikari. Only the people who are not Uttamadhikaris will claim to be Uttamadhikari.
तो कोई भी उत्तम अधिकारी कभी ऐसा नहीं बताएगा कि वो उत्तम अधिकारी है। वास्तविकता में जो उत्तम अधिकारी नहीं है वो सोच सकता है कि वो उत्तम अधिकारी है।
But you have to see the qualities. You have to recognize the qualities.
तो आपको उनके गुणों को देखना होगा, उनके गुणों के आधार पर समझना होगा।
Okay, another question. The scriptures say that from sadhu sangha we get faith. Then, why faith is the first stage of devotional service instead of sadhu sangha?
तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि शास्त्रों में लिखा है कि साधु संग से हमें भक्ति में विश्वास होता है और लेकिन ये क्यों ऐसा कहा गया है कि पहले विश्वास करके हम फिर साधु संग करें?
Well, with sadhu sangha you get more faith.
महाराज कह रहे कि साधु संग होने से हमें और ज्यादा भक्ति में,
But you have to have a little faith in the process just to come in and to find out and to take sadhu sangha.
लेकिन शुरुआत में थोड़ा सा श्रद्धा चाहिए जिसकी वजह से आप भक्ति के प्रोसेस में जुड़ेंगे.
And sometimes it is said that actually before faith actually comes association. That is sometimes described like that.
और कई बार ऐसा बताया जाता है कि श्रद्धा से भी पहले भक्तों का संग आता है.
But that's a preliminary kind of association. But what's being talked about, once you have faith, then you get a deeper kind of sadhu sangha, which is actually guiding you more in the process of bhakti.
तो लेकिन वो जो जिसकी बात कही गई है वो बहुत शुरुआती तौर का जो विश्वास है, लेकिन एक बार जब हम भक्ति में आ जाते हैं फिर साधु संग से हमारा जो विश्वास है उसका पोषण होता है और वो एक गहरे विश्वास की बात की जा रही है यहाँ पर.
I don't have confidence to ask questions and to do kirtan in preaching to someone. How to increase confidence to preach Krishna consciousness?
तो भक्त बता रहे हैं कि कीर्तन करने में, प्रश्न पूछने में या फिर प्रचार करने में उनको उतना कॉन्फिडेंस फील नहीं होता है, तो कैसे उसको बढ़ाया जाए और प्रचार आगे बढ़ाया जाए.
Is it you don't have confidence in yourself or you don't have confidence in the process?
तो महाराज पूछ रहे हैं कि आपको अपने अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है या फिर जो भक्ति का ये पूरा विधि है उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है.
If we have just this, what they call low self-esteem, or I can't, that because somebody might challenge me, but you preach what you realize, what you understand, and then the confidence when you see the result, even if it's Manusyanam sahasreshu kasyad yadati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kasyam mam veti tatvataha. Now, this is something we realize very strongly when we try to preach, that very few people have any interest.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि अगर आपका प्रश्न ये है कि आपको अपने अंदर इतना आत्मविश्वास नहीं है कि आप कैसे प्रचार करेंगे, तो जितना आप समझ पाते हैं उतना ही आप प्रचार कीजिए और उस समय आप इस भय से दूर रहेंगे कि दूसरे लोग आपको चैलेंज करेंगे जो आप बता रहे हैं.
So a real preacher will get more enthusiastic seeing how the Bhagavad Gita is correct. But then there are, someone who does have interest, and we see the results. So by doing it, we can get confidence. Just like anything else, everybody that's a champion at any sport or any musical instrument or anything, at one time they were beginners. They couldn't do it.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि हमें उसको शुरुआत करना चाहिए और जैसे आप उस एक्टिविटी को करेंगे तो आपको उस और उत्साह बढ़ेगा और आपको भगवत गीता की शिक्षाओं में आपको विश्वास बढ़ेगा. और ये हर एक चीज में इसी तरह से होता है. जैसे कि कोई अगर खिलाड़ी है और बहुत चैंपियन लेवल का खिलाड़ी है, तो ऐसा नहीं कि पहले दिन से वो चैंपियन था. पहले दिन वो बहुत जो शुरुआती दौर से वहाँ पे शुरुआत करता है अपनी और फिर आगे बढ़ता है.
There was one basketball player in America. He was still, many people say, the greatest ever. He was kicked off the high school basketball team. They said he was no good, but somehow he didn't give up. So these things happen. But
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं अमेरिका में ऐसा एक बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर है जिसको 10वीं की क्लास में जब वो खेला था तो उसको बाहर निकाल दिया गया था टीम से, लेकिन उसने किसी तरह से अपना विश्वास बनाए रखा और अभी भी ऐसा कहा जाता है कि वो अभी तक का सबसे अच्छा बास्केटबॉल प्लेयर.
So practice, preaching, sharing whatever you have. Some preachers learn we don't say preaching, we say sharing. Sharing our knowledge, sharing our realizations. Even the word preaching, if we say that, so many people are very much averse to that.
महाराज बता रहे कि तो हमें ये प्रैक्टिस करना होगा। और कई बार हम उसको प्रीचिंग नाम कह करके उसको शेयरिंग कह सकते हैं कि जो हमने हमारा रियलाइजेशन है, हमने जो सीखा समझा, उसको हम दूसरों से किसी न किसी आधार पर, किसी न किसी लेवल पर शेयर करें।
So Prabhupada is very early days in Los Angeles. There was like 5 or 6 devotees.
तो बहुत शुरुआती दिनों में लॉस एंजलिस में श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी ने भक्तों को ऐसा बताया।
And it was Bhaktisiddhanta's disappearance day or something.
उस दिन श्रीला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज का तिरुभाव तिथि था।
And Prabhupada was offering to his guru letters from his disciples saying how much they were happy.
और श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी उस समय अपने गुरु महाराज को अपने शिष्यों के द्वारा लिखे गए खतों को अर्पण कर रहे थे, जिसमें उन भक्तों ने ये लिखा था कि वो कितने संतुष्ट हैं, कितने खुश हैं।
Then he asked the devotees there, Nandarani, are you happy? Oh yes, Prabhupada, I'm very happy. So he went around and they all said they were very, very happy.
और फिर प्रभुपाद जी ने वहाँ नंद रानी माता जी से पूछा क्या आप खुश हैं, तो उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ प्रभुपाद मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। तो इस तरह से प्रभुपाद जी ने अलग अलग भक्तों से पूछा।
Then he said, I just ask you one thing.
Sometimes devotees would go to Prabhupada and ask Prabhupada, Prabhupada, can I travel with you? He'd say, you go with him and travel with him.
कई बार भक्त श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी के पास जाते थे तो पूछते थे प्रभुपाद जी मैं आपके साथ यात्रा कर सकता हूँ? प्रभुपाद जी कहते थे उनको नहीं, आप उन भक्त के साथ जाइए, उनके साथ यात्रा करिए।
And they say, I want to serve you, Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada, then you go with him and serve him. By serving him, you're serving me.
और वो बोलते थे कि प्रभुपाद जी मैं आपका सेवा करना चाहता हूँ, तो वो प्रभुपाद जी उनको कहते थे कि उनके साथ जाने से आप मेरा सेवा कर रहे हो।
Shiksha means instruction.
शिक्षा का मतलब है निर्देश।
So we should have many shiksha gurus.
तो हमारे कई सारे शिक्षा गुरु होने चाहिए।
we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, somebody had how many? 20-some gurus, right? In the 11th canto. Here's 24 gurus. Yeah, the mountain, the wind, the snake, learning from everything.
तो हम श्रीमद् भागवतम में सुनते हैं एक भक्त के बारे में जिनके 24 शिक्षा गुरु हैं, जिसमें पहाड़ भी हैं.
If we're in a humble state of mind, then we can learn from anybody. But so we have the primary shiksha guru is Srila Prabhupada, so we need to study his teachings so we can recognize who's teaching the same thing.
तो एक बात जो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है
And learn from them how to apply Srila Prabhupada's instructions.
तो हमें हमारे जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण शिक्षा गुरु हैं वो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी हैं, और जब हम उनकी पुस्तकों को पढ़ेंगे, उनकी शिक्षा को पढ़ेंगे, तो हम ये जान पाएंगे कि जो हमारे शिक्षा गुरु हमें शिक्षा दे रहे हैं उससे मिलती है कि नहीं.
Srila Prabhupada's purports are he said his personal ecstasies.
श्रील प्रभुपाद जी बताते हैं कि जो उनके परपोर्ट हैं वो उनका निजी उत्साह है.
He said anyone can translate the verses, but his purports are his only, and they're for us. They're not only his disciples, direct disciples, but for everyone that joins his society.
तो
Very important.
श्रील प्रभुपाद जी कह रहे हैं कि अनुवाद तो कोई भी कर सकता है, लेकिन जो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने परपोर्ट्स दिए हैं वो निजी रूप से वो भक्तों के लिए, ना केवल उनके जो इमीडिएट दीक्षित भक्त हैं, बल्कि कोई भी ऐसा व्यक्ति जो प्रभुपाद जी के संस्था में आता है, उन सब के लिए प्रभुपाद जी के परपोर्ट बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है.
By serving the ISKCON society, you're serving Srila Prabhupada.
इस्कॉन संस्था की सेवा करने से हम श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की सेवा कर रहे हैं.
So you serve in the society. That is service to all the spiritual teachers.
तो जब आप इस संस्था में सेवा करते हो तो वो सारे गुरुओं का उससे सेवा होता है.
Okay, another question. I heard devotees say Dandavat pranams or address other devotees. But said new generation gurus have started saying pranams. So what etiquette actually Srila Prabhupada has taught us to devotees to wish devotees respectfully.
भक्त प्रश्न है कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने जो शिक्षा दी है उसके अनुसार भक्तों को किस तरह से हमें आदर पूर्वक संबोधित करना चाहिए. कई बार हम देखते हैं भक्त दंडवत प्रणाम बोलते हैं, लेकिन आजकल के जो नए भक्त हैं वो केवल प्रणाम भी बोलते हैं. तो क्या सही तरीका है भक्त को आदर पूर्वक संबोधन करने का?
I never heard Prabhupada say Dandavat pranams ever.
मैंने कभी नहीं सुना श्रील प्रभुपाद जी को दंडवत प्रणाम कहते हुए.
This is something which has come in the recent times.
ये ऐसी चीज है जो अभी कुछ समय से शुरू हुआ है.
Generally, it would just be, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories Srila Prabhupada.
तो ज़्यादातर हम please accept my humble obeisances, आप मेरा विनम्र प्रणाम स्वीकार करें और श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय हो, ऐसा कहते एक दूसरे को संबोधित करते हैं.
Of course, now sometimes people even do things like Pam Ho.
पाम हो लिखते हैं.
That is very lazy thing to do.
वो आलस का पहचान है.
You should try to avoid these things.
हमें इन चीजों से बचना चाहिए.
Can I see them?
Huh?
You're still working on it?
You
No,
want
that one.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this. Oh, it's the other. I'm reading the other side. You only read the one side, right? About the Dandavat Pranam. Prabhupada said we should see every devotee as Prabhu.
तो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी कहते हैं हर एक भक्त को हमें प्रभु कहना चाहिए.
I heard a question the other day. I was listening to a class, and the devotee said that he had seen a video of Radhanath Swami meeting Jayapataka Swami, and he gave him a garland, and he bowed down. He was paying dandavat, and he said he was very surprised. He said, when I meet my godbrothers, I never think of dandavat. And the devotee, my godbrother that answered, he said the same thing I would have said, that when we joined, everybody paid obeisances to everybody all the time, right? Mm. I mean, when I first was with devotees, I had long, greasy hair and a dog and child and wife. But devotees said, oh, please accept my obeisances, Prabhu.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि अभी कोई महाराज लेक्चर सुन रहे थे, उसमें उन्होंने देखा कि एक भक्त ने प्रश्न पूछा है कि श्रील राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज, श्रील जयपताका स्वामी महाराज को एक माला अर्पण करते हैं और उसके बाद उनको दंडवत प्रणाम करते हैं. तो वो भक्त आश्चर्यचकित हो रहे थे कि ऐसे गुरु भाइयों को क्या जरूरत है. तो महाराज बता रहे कि ये हमने जब ये संस्था ज्वाइन की थी तो हम हर एक को ही दंडवत प्रणाम करते थे, चाहे अपनी पत्नी हो, चाहे कोई साथ वाला गुरु भाई हो, चाहे कोई भी.
So it's always good to offer obeisances without trying to discriminate. Who should I offer my obeisances? Should I wait for this person to bow down to me because I joined 2 weeks earlier than him, or my guru has more disciples than him, so therefore I must be better? We can't think like that.
तो अगर हम सभी को आदर देना चाहेंगे, सभी को प्रणाम करेंगे, तो इस भावना से फिर बच पाएंगे. इस भक्त ने मुझे पहले वो मुझे प्रणाम करे, या फिर इसके शिष्य ज्यादा हैं या मेरे गुरु के शिष्य ज्यादा हैं, ये सब कैलकुलेशन से हम बच पाएंगे.
You can answer the other half of it. He's saying that you see a lot of devotees, they offer anybody who's initiating guru, they call him Guru Maharaj. And some think that's not right.
हम आजकल ये भी एक बात है कि भक्त जो आजकल सभी दीक्षा गुरुओं को गुरु महाराज कह के पुकारते हैं, तो क्या ये सही है?
Well, if it's their guru, that's how you address your own spiritual master. It doesn't mean that somebody is Guru Maharaj for everyone.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि गुरु महाराज जो शब्द है वो अपने गुरु के लिए संबोधन इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. तो इसका ये अगर कोई गुरु है आपके, इसका मतलब नहीं कि वो सभी के लिए गुरु महाराज हैं.
But if it's genuine, respectful, like if somebody is an uttama adhikari, they would see everyone as a guru.
लेकिन ये एक सच्चा जो है आदर देने की भावना है कि अगर कोई उत्तम अधिकारी होगा, वो सबको ही गुरु के रूप में देखेगा.
If it just becomes a mechanical thing that we're trying to select, but if it's just genuine and respectful and they really want to know something, it's not so bad.
तो ये केवल एक मैकेनिकल चीज ना बने तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है. हम वास्तविकता में हृदय से किसी व्यक्ति जो कुछ जानता है उसको आदर दें तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है.
But their own Diksha Guru, for sure, we should say Guru Maharaj, not just Maharaj.
और जो अपने हमारे गुरु हैं, उनको दीक्षा गुरु, उनको खास तौर से हमें महाराज नहीं बोलना चाहिए, हमें गुरु महाराज बोलना चाहिए.
Some formality is there.
Okay, is there any difference between Krishna Prem or Gaura Prem?
क्या कृष्ण प्रेम और गौर प्रेम में कोई अंतर है?
Is there any difference between Krishna and Lord Chaitanya?
भगवान श्री कृष्ण और चैतन्य महाप्रभु में क्या अंतर है?
Who asked that question?
किसने क्वेश्चन पूछा?
Some people in the Goloka, there's Navadwip and there's also Vrindavan, and some people are in both. Some souls are in the Navadwip Gaur Leela and in the Krishna Leela in Vrindavan.
तो कुछ ऐसे भक्त हैं जो गौर लीला में भी हैं और वृंदावन लीला में भी हैं, नवदीप में भी और वृंदावन में भी।
And I think it's in Jaiva Dharma. It says devotees, they take a lot of pleasure in discussing the similarities between Gaur Leela and Krishna Leela. How they're the same.
भक्तों को आनंद आता है गौर लीला और कृष्ण लीला के बीच में जो समानताएं हैं उसकी चर्चा करते हुए।
Someone said, how can I stay humble even in provoking situations? It disturbs my peace if I speak.
तो भक्त पूछ रहे हैं कि कठिन परिस्थितियों में भी कैसे मैं विनम्र बना रहूं, इससे मेरी जो मनोशांति है उस बहुत आच्छादित होती है।
Well, Kirtaniya Sada Hare. Just take shelter of the holy name.
महाराज बता रहे कि भगवान के दिव्य नाम का हमें शरण ग्रहण करना चाहिए।
Why are you being provoked? Because you're in the bodily concept of life. It's your problem. You're allowing yourself to be provoked. You're taking things somebody said to you in the bodily way.
तो आप उत्तेजित क्यों हो रहे हैं? अगर आप उत्तेजित हो रहे हैं इसका मतलब आप शारीरिक धरातल पर चीजों को देख रहे हैं।
So when you become more Krishna conscious, then you won't be disturbed.
और आप जब ज़्यादा कृष्ण भावना भावित होंगे तो फिर आप डिस्टर्ब नहीं होंगे।
Radhanath Swami often quotes one quote from Prabhupada that your advancement is judged by how much you can tolerate provoking situations.
श्री राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज एक बहुत विख्यात कोट बोलते हैं कि आप कितना ज़्यादा भक्ति में आगे बढ़े हैं उससे पता चलेगा कि उत्तेजित करने वाली स्थितियों में आप कैसे व्यवहार करते हैं।
So when we're very neophyte, smallest thing, it's like somebody has some disease, you just touch them and it's painful or something. So they get provoked very easily.
Naam with you wherever you go.
तो आप जहाँ पर भी जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे भगवान
Naam with you wherever you go.
तो आप जहाँ पर भी जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे भगवान के दिव्य धाम को ले जाइए। प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला कि मैं हमेशा वृंदावन में हूँ।
So if you keep thinking of Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya and Parikrama, you'll always be in the holy Dham.
तो अगर आप श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी और श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु और परिक्रमा के बारे में सोचते रहेंगे तो आप हमेशा यहाँ पर परिक्रमा में रहेंगे।
Okay, we're going to stop now. Where are the deities?
There's so many questions.
Yeah, who's making all these questions?
You have many left
What
over
have
from
you got?
yesterday.
Some kind of factory over there churning out all the questions?
Did you have some left over from yesterday also?
Huh? Look at them all.
Yeah.
And that's only some. There's so many more.
We're going to have to give shorter answers.
Yeah, that's why I'm making. Are you ready? Come on. Yeah, come on.
All glories to these pujaris.
Okay, no more. We're closing the shop.
हमारे शहर में दुकान बंद कर रहे हैं और नहीं तो हम श्रीला कविचंद स्वामी महाराज और श्रीला भक्ति विघ्न विनाश नरसिंह स्वामी महाराज का हृदय से धन्यवाद करते हैं इतने सुंदर उत्तरों के लिए हम एक बार हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र प्रोत्साह से बोलते हैं स्वामी महाराज की भक्ति विघ्न विनाश नरसिंह स्वामी महाराज की।
So please appreciate these pujaris. They're amazing how every day they come up at early morning with such a beautifully decorated altar. They're up late at night, and they're really great souls. And because we might be having trouble just camping out, but they're not only taking care of their own bodies, but they're taking care of the deity, which is not that easy even in a perfect protected environment.
Oh, why you have to put that up? They never used to do that.
आज ये दिया ही नहीं ना।
गैस क्यों?
गैस बातिल
क्या? अच्छा खाली जगह
हाँ बॉक्स से सब सबने कौन काम कर रहे কি বলেছে ধন্যবাদ দিই
अच्छा सब खबर पड़ गया अरे हटी आ गया रिचार्ज हो तो ना पाल में रिचार्ज तो कुछ दिन चला था
इधर ही होगा
सब खोल बजे
से दिखने बजे बजे
खोल लिखने बजे मत बिना को लिखने बजे मत
बिना उसके बजाएंगे
ওই বক্সের সামনে গেলে গেট টানবে কিন্তু এখানে বাজাও
না দো মত
এখানে বসে বসে বাজাও
एक यहाँ बैठ जाए
হ্যাঁ তাহলে ভালো হবে সাউন্ডটা আর ওখানে বাজালে চুমু চাপ উঠতে থাকবে
बॉक्स में आवाज आएगा उधर सामने मजा नहीं आता डीटीज के सामने बजाने मजा आता
বাংলা জানে নাই
हिंदी हिंदी
হিন্দি
बांग्ला जाने
বাংলা তুমি জানো বাংলা हिंदी
भगवान के सामने बजाएंगे
भगवान के सामने बजाए
हाँ
आप एक घर में बजाए पहले आपका साउंड क्लियर हो जाए
बॉक्स के सामने अच्छा बजाना ठीक है चलो ठीक है कोई बात नहीं आप वहाँ लगा सकते हो खड़े में लगा सकते हो तो लगा ठीक है चलिए कोई बात नहीं
आप कहाँ बजाए लेडीज का बजाए
नहीं जाएगा उतना तो और नहीं जाएगा खींचने का
और नहीं क्या करेंगे फिर और नहीं
Yes, sir. Come on.
हरि बोल प्रभु जी सीढ़ी ओढ़ी कौन है
गौरती यस प्रभु जी अरे प्रभु जी है उठा करताल दे दो करताल निकाल दो करताल दे दो उठा करताल बड़ा है
जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय Nitai Gaur Hari Gaur Hari Gaur Hari Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati ko toba Shiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati ko toba Jahnavi Tatavan Jagamana Loba Jahnavi Tatavane Jagamana Loba Dakshini Nitaita Dame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Tine Vasa Chatradhara Nikate Advaita Tine Vasa Chatradhara Ratna वासु घोषादि गाया संजय मुकुंद वासु घोषादि गाया बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करता बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करता
संपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी Hare Nayi Gauranga, Nayi Gauranga. Nayi Gauranga, Nayi Gauranga. Nayi Gauranga, Hari. Gaura, 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 Hari. Nayi Gauranga, Gaura, Hari. Nayi Gaura, Hari. Nayi Gaur Premanande Gaurarti ki Shri Gaur Nitai ki Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Lad Daine Prahlad Lad Daine Thank you. भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, साई गुरु प्रेमानंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का आचार्य अष्टकोत्तर श्री श्रीमद ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का आचार्य अष्टकोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन महाराज की, वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की, श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to Assembled devotees. All glories to Assembled devotees. All glories to Assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.
कीर्तन रोजी कीर्तन
क्या होता है इसके बाद?
तुलसी आरती होगी तो दीपी
लेक्चर होता है वैसे, लेकिन वो
कीर्तन कीर्तन अभी तुलसी आरती नहीं होती,
नहीं तुलसी आरती
कीर्तन कीर्तन
ये वाला
उठाने का
विष्णुपादाय श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। Ram, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
music again. मुखे बोलो Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
बोले बोले हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे बोलो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नाचे अमर मान नाचे अमर मान
नाचे अमर मान, नाचे अमर मान,
नाचे अमर मान नाचे अमर मान
नाचे अमर मान, नाचे अमर मान,
नाचे अमर मान नाचे अमर मान
नाचे अमर मान,
नाचे अमर मान नाचे अमर मान गोयर निताई चैतन्य बोले 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 नाचे अमर मान नाचे अमर मान नाचे अमर मान
So devotional services, Kirtanam, Shravanam and Kirtanam, holy name. And we'll just start with, you can ask, because if they need translation, they will.
ट्रांसलेशन इज नीडेड अनुवाद चाहिए क्या हिंदी में नहीं चाहिए ना हमारा बहुत अच्छा हिंदी इंग्लिश बोलते हैं हम श्रवण करेंगे काम में गए तो बस
Bangla? Bangla? Okay. Okay, we'll start with the prayers to the spiritual masters, Vaishnavas and the Supreme Lord. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanyavano Vishtam Stavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutaya Mat Prema Puravibhur Nirmaya Kshatidam Shupurusha Bhumte Gunan Sadasa Sadasatmaka Elankrishishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Hare Krishna. So just have to check one more point about translations. Кто-то из русскоговорящих преданных нуждается в переводе? Поднимите, пожалуйста, руки. Кто нуждается в переводе?
У нас есть переводчик.
Пожалуйста, впереди сядьте, здесь есть переводчицы.
У нас радио и...
Уже радио есть, да? Окей. У всех есть переводы, да? Хорошо. So I was requested to focus on the most important topic, which is Gaura Katha. I hope everyone is happy with that. Hare Krishna. And we will be speaking about only one, but very special pastime of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who was in his youth known as Nayi Pandit. And this is the pastime of Nayi Pandit defeating great scholar whose name was Keshava Kashmiri. And this pastime has been described in two sources, Chaitanya Charitamrita as well as Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and we wanted to touch on both sources. And one reason is that Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur explains in his Chaitanya Bhagavat that anyone who hears this pastime will become servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and will become undefeatable. No one will be able to ever defeat that person who heard this pastime. Who wants to become undefeatable? Okay, very good. And who wants to become servant of Lord Chaitanya? So with this blessing, and of course, this is the reason why I chose it, because I was thinking these are good benefits coming from this particular episode. And so we'll be reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita certain verses, and then adding some information from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So let's start with chanting the mantra which was given to us in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So this pastime is appearing in Adi Lila, chapter 16 of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, as well as Adi Khanda of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And we'll be reading text 6 of the chapter in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, because it is amazingly describing the qualities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarva Shastra Sarva Pandit Paya Parajaya Vinaya Bhangite Kara Dukkha Nahi Hayam. The Lord defeated all kinds of scholars in discourses about all the scriptures, yet because of his gentle behavior, none of them were unhappy. So this is quite an amazing quality of the Supreme Lord, which is glorified by Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Only the Supreme Lord can display such a great combination of courage and compassion, because in the material world people are either courageous but not very compassionate, or they're compassionate but not very courageous, right? But only Supreme Lord can have both. courage and compassion. And so, as we know, Nayi Pandit, in his youth, became a great teacher, and he was known as teacher of grammar. And in those days, Navadwip, as we know, was the great center of learning, and was very famous. And one personality, one great scholar, whose name was Keshava Kashmiri, he decided to try to debate with the scholars in Navadwip, because that would give him great advantage. In the same way, if you know, for example, in sports, and you have some, victory in your village or maybe in some remote area, even though you have some medal or prize, but this is not very prestigious. But if you go to Olympics and you get Olympics medal, you win the Olympic Games, then you become world famous, right? So in the same way, in previous times, people were, instead of doing so much sports, they were doing debates, they were exercising their intelligence, and they wanted to become prominent scholars like that. And Keshava Kashmiri, as name suggests, he was coming from the Kashmir region, and he was a great scholar because he was blessed by Saraswati, the goddess of learning, the direct expansion of the Supreme Lord's internal energy. And he was defeating so many scholars, and he wanted to come to Navadwip to get special position. And he was challenging Navadwip scholars for debate. And when the news about his arrival became known very quickly, because he was arriving with great pomp. He was carried on palanquin, and there were so many elephants and horses, and so many people came in his entourage, and it was announced to everyone that great Keshava Kashmiri is coming to debate. And it was also known that his blessings are coming from Saraswati Devi. And therefore, all the local scholars were thinking, how can we debate with him? Because if Saraswati speaks through him, who can defeat Saraswati? So then it says that they all gave up their duties. They want to hide from this Keshava Kashmiri. They didn't want to debate with him. And actually, this is very interesting story, because later this Keshava Kashmiri became a great devotee. He was a very proud scholar, but then he became a great devotee by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Bhagavat explains that Nayi Pandit heard about him, and he was thinking, I have to do something about this guy who is very proud, who is very arrogant. And everyone was talking, what do we do about this Keshava Kashmiri? And Nayi Pandit was telling his friends, don't worry. You know, this man is so puffed up, he is so arrogant. And you know, the Supreme Lord doesn't like arrogant people. There were so many arrogant personalities in the history of the world, and he started giving a long list. He was saying, you know, Narakasura was very arrogant, Ravana was very arrogant, and you know, he was giving list of so many names of demoniac kings, and he said they were all very arrogant, but the Supreme Lord never tolerated that arrogance, and he removes the cause of the arrogance to make those people humble. And so he said, don't worry, the Supreme Lord will take care. Of course, Nayi Pandit himself was the Supreme Lord, but under the influence of Yogamaya, the residents of Navadwip didn't understand that fact. But they believed Nayi Pandit, because whatever he would tell would come to happen. So it was happening. And no one wanted to debate with Keshav Kashmiri. And Keshav Kashmiri said, if you don't want to debate, it's fine, but I want what they call Vijaya Patra. I want the certificate of the winner, signed by all the scholars. You don't have to debate with me. You just give me that certificate, you all sign it, and I will go my way, you know, as a winner. And, you know, there was a pause. Everyone was thinking what to do. And meanwhile, the Supreme Lord, Nayi Pandit, he invited his friends to the bank of the Ganga, and there, as Chaitanya Charitamrita explained, they wanted to have a class. You know, it's very nice and cooling on the banks of the Ganga. The breeze is always blowing. So Prabhupada would call it Vaikuntha breeze. Especially now the hot time is coming, you will feel how nice it is when there is a breeze coming from Ganga Devi. And so they were sitting at the bank of the Ganga. The Supreme Lord sprinkled his head with the Ganga water together with his students, and then they sat and they started discussing scriptures. And meanwhile, the Supreme Lord was thinking, and this is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's very amazing if you add these pastimes, this pastime described in both places. If you have, then you can have full picture. Actually, it's very interesting that Vrindavan Das Thakur described half, and Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami described the other half. So if you put the two together, you will have complete whole. And this is really fascinating. And so this is what Chaitanya Bhagavat describes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nayi Pandit, was sitting and thinking. And this is the Supreme Lord. We can understand how amazing the Supreme Lord's character is. He was thinking, how do I defeat him? Was there any problem in defeating anyone? Of course not. But why the Lord was asking himself, how do I defeat this man? He was contemplating, if I go and have public debate with him officially, and of course he's going to lose miserably. He will be, you know, Nayi Pandit just a boy, literally. You know, he's very young. And then Keshav Kashmiri is an adult, educated, and etc., you know, high prestige. And if he's going to be defeated by a boy, that will ruin his career for life. You know, he has so much wealth, so many followers. I mean, Keshav Kashmiri didn't just have Facebook followers. He had real followers. You know, people would follow him everywhere he went. Huge crowd would accompany him. And Nayi Pandit was thinking, he will never survive that. That Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Nayi Pandit was thinking, if I defeat him, he will be so devastated and people will completely lose all faith in him, and they will, you know, take away all his money and they will chase him away, and eventually what will happen, he will die of grief. Actually, it is happening sometimes that if person has very high position, fame, wealth, power, and then if they lose it all, probably some of you might have this kind of experience when you had very high opportunity, you know, very high standard of living, and then due to the power of circumstances, you had to downgrade yourself. It's very painful, right? To losing even, you know, some of that. Srila Prabhupada would describe one man who was very high government officer and earning a lot of money, and then he lost his position, and of course he lost everything, and he just couldn't survive. He died within a year, died of grief. So, and Nayi Pandit was thinking, I don't want that happen to him, so I should not be debating with him officially like that. And then he made an arrangement for Keshav Kashmiri to come to the bank of the Ganga. And when he arrived to the bank of the Ganga, of course, you know, just going for bathing, he was not followed by, you know, his entourage. It was just, you know, private trip, private visit to Ganga. So he was alone. And then he saw Nayi Pandit sitting amidst his students, and Nayi Pandit looked amazingly, you know, with big, beautiful eyes, with, you know, golden color of his skin and shining. And when Keshav Kashmiri saw him, and he heard about Nayi Pandit, how beautiful he is, etc., etc., everybody was talking about him as the best scholar in Navadwip, even though very young. And he kind of recognized that maybe this is Nayi Pandit. So he came to him, he came to the circle, and he was asking, are you Nayi Pandit? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very humbly said, yes, I am, you know, I'm a very simple person. I'm very honored to have such a personality like you in our midst. And he gave him a seat of honor, and he showed him all respect, and he behaved very humbly. And he said, we heard so much about your glories, about your poetic abilities, and could you kindly enlighten us? Could you kindly, you know, glorify Mother Ganga? We would like to enjoy your talent. And Keshav Kashmiri, and actually before that, when Keshav Kashmiri saw Nayi Pandit, Chaitanya Bhagavat described, he actually became frightened because somehow someone in his heart was telling him that he cannot debate with, he will lose to Nayi Pandit if he will try to debate with him. So he felt that he is a superior personality. Even though, of course, under the influence of Yoga Maya, he could not recognize that he is the Supreme Lord. Anyway, but Lord Chaitanya put his worries to rest by his humble behavior and by his sweet addresses and by his respect. So Keshav Kashmiri became a little bit more confident, and Nayi Pandit said, please recite your poetry. And then he started reciting so many verses glorifying Mother Ganga. Actually, an edition I have of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat says he was reciting for 3 hours non-stop. Anyway, I asked one Bengali-speaking devotee, he said, actually the original Bengali text says an hour. I don't know why they say 3 hours, but even an hour to recite one poem for an hour, that's a long time. And it says that he was reciting with the speed of the wind, and anyone could hardly understand what to speak of analyzing this poetry. And everyone was amazed by his poetic abilities. And then Nayi Pandit, after he finished reciting, Nayi Pandit said, that was a very beautiful poetry, but is it possible that we hear at least one verse and you purport your explanation of this verse? Keshav Kashmiri said, which one would you like to hear? And Nayi Pandit recited exactly one of the verses. And Keshav Kashmiri just couldn't believe him. He said, how did you manage to remember that verse? How this is possible? He was again frightened. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, well, people have different gifts. You are Kavivara, you are the blessed poet, Kavivara, and I happen to be Shrutidara, one who can remember anything in one go. So Keshav Kashmiri became a little bit more relaxed. He said, okay, you are Shrutidara, that's amazing, but anyway, we can discuss. And he said, what would you like to hear? And Nayi Pandit said, I want to hear 5 specific good qualities and ornaments of this verse, as well as 5 mistakes, 5 faults. And Keshav Kashmiri became very, hurt by this statement. He said, faults, mistakes? My poetry never has any faults or never has any mistakes. And Nayi Pandit said, actually there are faults in that verse. And Keshav Kashmiri said, how can you review my poetry? You are just a grammar teacher. You don't have the qualification, which is reasonable. It was a reasonable argument. If someone is not specialist in the field, how he can judge what the specialist is doing? And Nayi Pandit very humbly said, I'm not a specialist, but because I'm Shrutidar, I remember what the specialists are speaking and writing about the poetry. So I can just quote some specialists, and according to those specialists, this is called parampara. You don't have to be specialist, but if you follow the specialist, you can be as good a specialist. I can make a little disclosure here of, I am known for not knowing so many things in so many different fields. And one thing I don't know at all is cooking. One time devotees requested me to make a lunch many years ago, and it was first and last request I ever received about making lunch, because devotees were horrified. Every single mistake which was possible to make with cooking I did, so they said, never, never again. So, and therefore, I greatly admire everyone who can cook, because for me this is like magic ability. I can't imagine how people can do that. And nevertheless, one time when I was a schoolboy, my mother, something happened, I can't remember. She was either sick or injured herself and injured her hand, and she couldn't cook. And she said, I want you to cook. And I said, how can I cook? And she is excellent cook. But I said, I have no idea how to cook. And she said, don't worry. I'll be sitting here in the kitchen and I'll be telling you exactly what to do. You just have to follow, that's it. You don't have to worry about anything. And I was just following whatever she was saying, cut this and put this there and add this, etc. And I was amazed. It came out excellent meal. So this is how it works in life. Even if you know nothing, you just strictly follow someone who knows and you will know everything. One time, Srila Prabhupada, he gave a class and he said, anyone can preach perfectly. Every single one of you. And devotees looked at Srila Prabhupada with doubt on their faces. And Prabhupada said, have no doubt. I will prove to you right now. And there was one devotee who couldn't even speak properly, so definitely he was the last candidate for any kind of preaching devotees could imagine. And he was working at the kitchen. And Srila Prabhupada said, call over this devotee from the kitchen and I will show you how nicely he can preach. So devotees called that devotee over. And Prabhupada said, I want you to stand next to asana and just repeat exactly what I will be saying. And so Srila Prabhupada started. And the students, they were all laughing at him. He was completely defeated. He was smashed. But then it's very interesting what Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says. Nayi Pandit said, don't laugh. Actually, he is a great poet. He's one of the greatest poets of all times. But every single great poet has faults. Even poetry of greatest poets like Jayadev and others, even there, if you look scrutinizingly, you will find so many faults. So just the reason that we found some faults in his poetry does not prove him. No. And so then Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat says, he addressed Keshav Kashmiri, he said, you're probably tired. You recited this whole poetry for so long, and of course it's too late for us to discuss all these serious subject matters. And let's go home, and you can read your books, you can take your rest, and then we can meet and we can continue our discussion. Surely you will be in much better shape. So Keshav Kashmiri, of course, took the opportunity and left, and he was so upset with Saraswati. Actually, when he came home, he started praying to Saraswati, because he actually felt he was blessed with Saraswati. Whatever he would say was coming from her. That's why it was so amazing. But then at that particular point, he felt that Saraswati just left him. And he made his worship to Saraswati Devi, and he prayed to her. And then Saraswati Devi came to him. I think in a dream, I can't remember this point. I think in a dream. And she told him that, in fact, I couldn't be on your side at all, because the personality you were discussing your poetry with is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, my eternal Master. And so, in front of Him, I cannot do anything, sorry. You are on your own. But you are very fortunate. You are so fortunate to be defeated directly by the Supreme Lord. And then she preached to Keshav Kashmiri, and he became enlightened by Saraswati. And very early in the morning, he just ran to the home of Nayi Pandit. And Nayi Pandit was very surprised. He said, why did you come so early? And then Keshav Kashmiri just bowed down to Nayi Pandit, and he revealed to him what Saraswati told him. And Nayi Pandit blessed him. He said, yes, it is true. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but one thing, do not tell anybody about it, otherwise you will not live for too long. Keep it secret. And this is very standard feature of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastime, that he was revealing his identity to certain people, but then he would tell them, don't tell to anybody. And so Keshav Kashmiri had to keep it a secret, but then he became a great devotee, and he became follower of Nimbarka Sampradaya, and he became one of the greatest acharyas in that Sampradaya, who wrote many powerful scriptural commentaries. For example, he even wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita, very powerful commentary. as well as on other scriptures. And so this pastime is really amazing because it shows their mantra, and surprisingly enough, it's not Hare Krishna mantra. Anyone knows what is the local mantra for entire Navadwip area? Very simple, just 2 words. No. Jai Nitai. You just make an experiment. You just tell to any local people Jai Nitai, you will see ecstasy manifested on their faces, because that's their mantra. Anywhere, Ekachakra, Navadwip, anywhere you go, you just tell people Jai Nitai. That's their mantra, because they know by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya becomes easily available. In the same way as what is the main mantra for Vrindavan and Braj area? Radhe Radhe. Why Radhe Radhe? Because they know by Srimati Radharani's mercy, Krishna is easily available. So in here, in Navadvip area, in Gora Mandala Bhumi, they know very well by the mercy of Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes very easily available. That's why their main mantra is Jai Nitai. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll take a couple of questions. Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaji,
Do we have another mic for questions? We don't have. I have 2 mics. Okay, there is a mic.
Thank you, Maharaji, for wonderful lecture. Maharaji, I want to ask, you said that follow the best of the best, so you will become best. So I ask a question here that if I follow best of best blindly, is it good, or I follow best of best at the same time I accept the right thing, but I realize or reject the wrong thing? Which one is good? Follow blindly or accept right thing or reject wrong thing?
Well, to follow best of the best is to understand who is the best. So who is the best devotee? You know. Do you know the best devotee? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And we need to follow Srila Prabhupada. To follow Srila Prabhupada, you know, one time Srila Prabhupada was taking morning walk on the beach somewhere. I think it was California. And he was walking on the sand. And one devotee, he was walking behind him, and he was thinking, you know, I have to follow in the footsteps of my spiritual master. And he was trying to step on Prabhupada's, you know, footprints like that, make sure he follows exactly on Prabhupada's footsteps. And he was very excited, oh, I'm following Prabhupada's footsteps, in Prabhupada's footsteps. But Srila Prabhupada was known to walk very fast. He was a very fast walker, despite of his age. And sometimes when he would get some question, he was especially, you know, interested in, he would just abruptly stop and turn around and answer this question. And this is what happened. This devotee was, you know, just looking at Prabhupada's footprints, trying to step on those footprints, engaged in that particular process. He was thinking, following the footsteps. And then Prabhupada stopped abruptly, turned around, and this disciple nearly bumped into Srila Prabhupada. And he was thinking, no, I'm actually, what I'm doing is nonsense here, you know, I'm just playing, externally pretending to follow Prabhupada's footsteps. But to actually follow Prabhupada's footsteps, what it means, what does it mean? Follow his instructions. And what Srila Prabhupada said, love me, love my dog. This is the quote he gave. So if we follow Srila Prabhupada, we have to follow Srila Prabhupada's representatives. We have to follow his servants, and luckily we have so many Prabhupada's servants, Prabhupada's representatives, our spiritual masters. So if we want, Hare Krishna. If we want to please Srila Prabhupada, to follow the greatest personality, we have to do what he wanted us to do. And then we will become the best. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Can you pass microphone on the ladies' side?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for the wonderful lecture, and you are really known for your profound lectures. So my question is not related to the lecture, but from lecture I could get. It was like it's all about mind. So we read that in the 11th canto also, that all the problems if we have, only reason is mind. So and the solution is Savimana, Krishna Padana. So we have to engage our mind in the service of Krishna, everything. So we have to put our senses in the process. But I really request you if you can put some light on mind, something which can help us, something on mind, that how we, how we put our daily good on mind in chanting, or how we do something on mind.
How we can focus our mind on chanting?
Chanting, how to the only solution is chanting for everything, but still I request you if you can tell something about mind.
Okay. So yes, mantra, the very word mantra means liberation of the mind. So, but for mantra to work, we have to try to chant it attentively, because we know that the root cause of all the offenses to the holy name, to the mantra, is pramada. And the word pramada is a very interesting word. As you know, in Sanskrit words, same word may have multiple meanings, and pramada means madness, intoxication, madness, intoxication, and inattentiveness as well. Pra, of course, is prakrishta rupina, the intensifying prefix before the word. So pramada means intense intoxication, intense madness or inattentiveness. lack of attention or absence of attention. So being mindless, right, pramada. So, and if we work on this particular point, becoming attentive, actually nowadays it is very prominent, the mindfulness, right? What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is nothing but attentiveness. So you can see that in many spiritual paths they practice that, right? Mindfulness, attentiveness, because without that you cannot really succeed in Krishna consciousness. And so intelligence, also in the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the final verses are describing the great force which can make us act against our intentions even, right? Evil force, and Krishna says this is lust, right? And lust is manifested in the body, in the senses, in the mind, and even intelligence can be affected by lust. And then the solution is given in the very end of the chapter, final verse. Krishna says, by deliberate spiritual intelligence, one can conquer that great enemy, lust. And so we have to make our intelligence strong, of course, by reading Prabhupada's books, by discussing, by, taking courses. But there is one good technique, very simple technique, how we can make ourselves mindful or attentive at any point of time. Just asking ourselves one simple question: why? Why am I sitting here now? Why am I chanting? Why am I reading books? Why am I serving the devotees? Why, right? And then that question, why, activates your intelligence and helps your intelligence to control your mind. So, a simple solution to the complex problems. Because Krishna consciousness means Buddhi Yoga, so it's very important that you use your intelligence in Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept one humble obeisances. Maharaj, like you mentioned that there are faults in the composition of greatest of the authors or the poets. So I think you have spoken that Jayadev has also flaws in his composition. So he is a Vaishnava. So how to understand that Vaishnavas have also flaws in their composition?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's not what I said. It's Nayi Pandit, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that. So I just quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said even great poets had flaws in their poetry. It's the same thing Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, because, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never says anything which is different from Krishna, because he is Krishna. And Krishna never contradicts himself. Krishna doesn't change his opinions. Whatever he spoke 5,000 years ago, the same thing he spoke 534 years ago, etc. So, and again, chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita says, in the same way as fire is always covered by smoke, any endeavor is always covered by fault. So everything in the material world is always faulty. So this world is imperfect world, and it will never change, no matter how perfect we try to be. There will be always imperfection in everything we're doing. because we are not gods. Only the Supreme Lord is perfect. We are not perfect. And it's also good. I mean, of course, there are levels of imperfection. You know, someone can be totally imperfect, but some, you know, highly positioned personalities might have some, you know, tiny little imperfections, but some imperfection will always be there in this world. But it's good, because if everything, whatever we do would be perfect, we would never want to leave this world, and we would never become humble. So it's also Krishna's mercy that he never allows full perfection. Hare Krishna. All right, so last question, and we should be finishing because we don't want you to take late rest.
Thank you, Maharaji, for the wonderful lecture. Maharaji, in the beginning you told two benedictions. So, Maharaji, in order to access these, does some qualification from the listener side is required?
Yes, of course. There should be qualification for everything, even if you eat a wonderful prasadam, qualification to have good digestion. Otherwise, if your digestion is not functioning, no matter how wonderful prasadam is, you will never get benefit. So what is the spiritual digestion? That is our ability to, first of all, listen and internalize the messages of the pastimes, understand how we apply this to ourselves. In our case, how can we follow these principles which are described in Shastra? And then in this way we can get full benefit from the pastime. So thank you all very much for your kind attention, and I'm looking forward to have your divine association again, and please bless me to become Krishna conscious as well.
Wait, let the ladies come. Mataji को आने दो पहला. Mataji को आने दो पहला.
हार मान